you know what the world needed right now? In the middle of all of the chaos, all of the noise, all the division, it needed this. 4 human beings, 1 spacecraft called Integrity, and the moon. For the first time in 54 years, since December of 1972, when Apollo 17's astronauts were the last humans to lay eyes on our moon up close, humanity went back, and tonight they're home. Safe, healthy, and the splash was so on target it was less than a mile from the bullseye, only 20 seconds late. I'm Andrea. This is Exposed News Outlet, where we cut through the noise and give you the stories that matter most. And today, we're talking about the NASA Artemis II mission, a 10-day, 700,000-mile journey around the moon that broke records, made history, and just for a moment, made the whole world look up. If you're new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss any notifications or videos and updates. And please like the video if it speaks to you. It really helps with the algorithms. Thank you. Let's get to it. Let me show you this clip of NASA's official Artemis II launch footage. SLS rocket lifting off from the Kennedy Space Center April 1st, 2026.
Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate beacon. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. Minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engines throttling up, guidance converged.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. Thrusters on integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation. Three minutes into the flight. Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour. Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
Copy, jettison. Team Eco 8+02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tidris at the Carmen line.
Outstanding, Stan, we have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen crossed the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
So let's meet the crew, because this wasn't just any 4 people. This was a deliberately historic team. Commander Reid Wiseman, NASA veteran, the steady hand on steering this spacecraft. Pilot Victor Glover, who became the first black astronaut to fly on a long-duration mission to the ISS back in 2020. And now adds this to his legacy. Mission Specialist Christina Koch, a trailblazer who broke the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman. On this mission, she became one of the first women to travel toward the moon. And Mission Specialist Jeremy Hansen, a Canadian Space Agency astronaut and former fighter pilot. He's the first non-American astronaut to join a lunar mission. Let that land. Congratulations to all of them. This wasn't just a NASA mission. This was a world mission. America, Canada, and the entire planet watching together. Let me show you this clip of crew introduction footage.
I'm Christina Koch. I'm a mission specialist.
I'm Jeremy Hansen. I'm a mission specialist.
I'm Victor Glover. I'm the pilot.
I'm Reid Wiseman. I'm the commander for the Artemis II mission to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
When I was young, I had a poster of the Earthrise picture, the famous picture that was taken on Apollo 8. And the fact that it was a human behind the lens that made that picture so profound and changed how we all thought of our own home was so amazing to me. The moon is not just a symbol of thinking about our place in the universe. It's not just a symbol of exploration. It's actually a beacon for science. It's a beacon for understanding where we came from.
You know, pushing ourselves to explore is just core to who we are. It's a part of being a human. That's our nature. We go out there and we explore to learn about where we are, why we are, understanding the big questions about our place in the universe. The exploration we're doing is the first few steps on the path of getting humans to Mars.
The Artemis campaign of missions have set such an ambitious goal for humanity that it's inspiring contributions from around the globe. Not just one nation is inspired and moved by this, but nations from around the globe are coming together. When I look at the Artemis II crew with Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, they want to go do this mission. They are keenly driven. They are humble to a fault. It is so cool to be around them. Artemis II is a huge mission, but I hope we will look back and realize that this was one tiny step in humans on Mars and a sustained presence on our moon.
Force engine start.
Artemis II will be NASA's first crewed flight test of the Space Launch System rocket
And Orion spacecraft around the moon.
To verify today's capabilities for humans to explore deep space
And pave the way for NASA's long-term human and scientific presence.
on the lunar surface.
we are ready.
We are going.
To the moon.
For all humanity,
We are Artemis.
Their spacecraft, the Orion capsule, nicknamed Integrity by the crew, launched on NASA's brand new Space Launch System rocket, the most powerful rocket NASA has ever built, and it worked flawlessly. This mission didn't land on the moon. Let me be clear about that. This was a crewed flight test, a dress rehearsal, but the stage they rehearsed on was 252,000 miles from home. Now, I want you to really feel this for a second. The last time any human being was this close to the moon was December 1972, Apollo 17. Eugene Cernan, Harris Schmitt, and Ron Evans. 1972. Think about what the world looked like then. No internet, no smartphones. The cameras they used, film cameras, 35 millimeter. You couldn't even see the photos until you got back and developed them. They had analog computers. They communicated with mission control on technology that had less processing power than a calculator on your phone. Navigation was done partly with paper charts and a sextant, like a ship's navigator from the 1800s, but pointed at the stars. Fast forward 54 years, the Artemis II crew took 10,000 photos in 7 hours using high-resolution digital cameras. They live-streamed from inside the capsule. The images they captured were so crisp and detailed, so stunning. NASA said they will, and I'm quoting here, quote, inspire generations to come, end quote. They captured an Earth set below the lunar horizon, our blue marble disappearing behind the gray dust of the moon. And they recreated one of the most iconic images in history, the Earthrise photo first shot by Apollo 8 in 1968, but this time in full high-definition color. They photographed the far side of the moon, the side that permanently faces away from Earth, the side that no human eye has ever seen directly in person until April 6, 2026. And if that wasn't enough, they witnessed a solar eclipse from space. How cool is that? The moon blocked the sun while they were right there watching it, and it totally lasted nearly an hour. On Earth, totality lasts a few minutes. Up there, almost 60 minutes of the sun's glowing corona visible around the moon's dark edge. They could even see stars, things normally invisible near the moon because of the sun's glare. One astronaut, Victor Glover, radioed home and said, and I have to share this one, quote, boy, I am loving the Terminator. There's just so much magic in the Terminator. The islands of light, the valleys that look like black holes, you'd fall straight to the center of the moon if you step in some of those. It's just so visually captivating. End quote. That's not a robot talking. That's a human being. looking at something beautiful for the first time. And we all got to experience it with them. Okay, the pictures are stunning, but this mission was packed with serious science. Let's break it down. Science number 1, your body in deep space. Before the crew even launched, teeny pieces of each astronaut went to space first. Scientists grew organ-on-a-chip devices, USB drive-sized chips seeded with the astronauts' own bone marrow cells, and flew them aboard Integrity. This is the Avatar experiment, a virtual astronaut tissue analog response. Why bone marrow? Because your bone marrow is ground zero for your immune system, and it is extremely sensitive to radiation. Out there, beyond Earth's protective magnetic field, the crew was bombarded with cosmic radiation unlike anything on Earth or even at the International Space Station. Scientists will now study those chips to understand exactly how the human body responds to deep space radiation at the cellular level. This is the kind of research that paves the way for humans to eventually live on the moon or make it to Mars. Let me show you this clip of NASA's Avatar experiment visualization.
This is cutting edge. This is going to revolutionize medicine, not just on Earth, but for us in space. The experiment that we have flying in Artemis II, I'm really incredibly excited about. It's a tissue chip model that we call Avatar. What it is you can see inside there are these tiny channels, and we populate those with cells that we take from the astronauts themselves that we can compare directly to them. We can take a drop of blood and convert it to cells that can make any type of organ within the human body. As we send this out to deep space, it will allow us to really start to understand the effect of deep space environment on our astronauts. We're looking at sustainable presence. We need to be able to take care of humans while they live and work in space. These tissue chips are going to allow us to understand that before we get to the point where we want to send humans for years at a time. The science has so much incredible capability on Earth or in space. This stuff is huge. It's going to be game-changing for NASA and for medicine on Earth, and then beyond.
Science number 2, mapping radiation in real time. The crew wore personal radiation dosimeters the entire trip. The spacecraft had 6 hybrid electronic radiation assessors. Every piece of data feeds into understanding how to protect future crews going deeper and staying longer. Fun fact, data from Artemis I already showed that how you orient the spacecraft can cut radiation exposure almost in half during certain maneuvers. This mission confirmed and expanded that knowledge. Science number 3, Archer stress and sleep performance. The crew also wore wrist monitors tracking their stress levels, sleep quality, movement, and cognitive performance throughout the mission. The data feeds the Archer study Artemis research for crew health and readiness. Think about it. They were in a capsule the size of a studio apartment for 10 days. The psychological effects of that kind of confinement at 252,000 miles from home. Vital information for every mission that comes after. Science number 4, lunar geology from human eyes. When they flew over the moon's far side, the crew spent 7 hours documenting everything they could see. Impact craters, ancient lava flows, surface fractures, color of texture differences across the terrain. They spotted 6 meteoroid impact flashes on the darkened of the lunar surface. They photographed Vavilov crater, Ohm crater, the Hertzsprung basin. Here's something NASA said explicitly. Human eyes and human brains pick up on subtle differences in color and visual context that robotic cameras simply cannot replicate. Having astronaut scientists on the ground and in space looking at the same terrain together, that's a level of scientific collaboration that produces discoveries no robot alone could make. Let me show you this clip of NASA lunar flyby footage showing the moon's surface, craters, and Earth set.
Your integrity crew is go for TOI. With this bird to the moon, we do not leave Earth. We choose it.
Humanity has once again shown what we are capable of, and it's your hopes for the future that carry us now on this journey around the moon.
And Integrity Houston, we have some news to share with you. As of 30 seconds ago, you are now closer to the moon than you are to us on Earth.
And should have seen the moon in relative darkness, but it didn't. First, they noted unusually strong light from Earth reflecting off the lunar surface to the point that they could see features. But they also noticed something else. So during Apollo 17, astronaut Harrison Schmitt noted strange, mysterious flashes on the surface of the moon during the lunar night. These were not seen by any of the other Apollo missions, and while all missions noted flashes, they weren't on the moon, but rather cosmic rays hitting the retinas of the astronauts. But some were not that, and were indeed present on the surface of the moon. These same flashes were just seen by the Artemis II crew, looping around the moon. Last I heard, they noted 4 of them in a very short time. These flashes are believed to be meteorite impacts on the moon as they hit. But 4 in the space of an hour and a half is a lot, and that may be a product of this uptick in and of itself. Mission Control at NASA noted that amateur astronomers may have also seen and perhaps even photographed these flashes from Earth in the dark night area of the moon, so the story may well develop further. Stay tuned.
I need to take a moment here because this happened during the mission and it deserves its own space. While flying over the moon, Commander Reid Wiseman, moved by what he was seeing, asked Mission Control for their permission to name a pair of craters, one after their spacecraft Integrity and one after his late wife, Carol. Rest in peace, Carol. The crew was in tears. Mission Control was in tears, and honestly, watching that moment, the rest of us were too. Commander Wiseman later said something I want every single person watching this to hear. He said, quote, "We really hoped in our soul that we could just, for one moment, have the world pause and remember that this is a beautiful planet and a very special place in our universe. And we should all cherish what we have been gifted." End quote. That is true. We need to treat the planet better. In the middle of wars, political chaos, uncertainty, and division, 4 people flew to the edge of the known world, looked back at all of us from 250,000 miles away, and reminded us we share the same home. That's not just a NASA mission. That's a human mission. Let me show you this clip of Commander Wiseman speaking to Mission Control.
They said, hey, my crewmates approached me when we were at Kennedy in quarantine, and they said, hey, the 3 of them had talked and they would like to do this. And that was an emotional moment for me. And I just thought that was just a total treasure that they had thought through this and they had offered this. And I said, absolutely, I would love that. I think that's just the best. And I said, but I can't give the speech. I can't give the talk. And Jeremy, the kind of guy he is, he said he would do it.
We lost a loved one. Her name was Carol, the spouse of Reid, the mother of Katie and Ellie. And if you want to find this one, you look at Glushko, and it's just to the northwest of that, at the same latitude as Ohm, and it's a bright spot on the moon. And we would like to call it Carol, and you spell that C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
When Jeremy spelled Carol's name C-A-R-R-O-L-L, I think for me that's when I was overwhelmed with emotion, and I looked over and Christina was crying. I put my hand down on Jeremy's hand as he was still talking. It was right there on that rail, and I could just tell he was trembling, and we all pretty much broke down right there. And just for me personally, that was kind of the pinnacle moment of the mission for me. That was, I think, where the 4 of us were the most forged, the most bonded, and we came out of that really focused on that day ahead. I think that was a very caging moment for the 4 of us.
Now let's talk about getting home, because this was not simple. There was something working against this crew the whole way back. Orion's heat shield, the critical layer that protects astronauts from 3,000 degree Fahrenheit temperatures during re-entry, had known design flaws discovered after Artemis I. Engineers redesigned the re-entry approach specifically to protect this crew, and it worked. On April 10th, 2026, they hit Earth's atmosphere at Mach 33 times the speed of sound, and that's 24,664 miles per hour. The capsule became engulfed in red-hot plasma. Communications went completely silent for 6 minutes, a planned blackout that felt like forever for the families watching in Mission Control's viewing room. Then, the voice of Commander Wiseman crackled through. Quote, "What a journey. We are stable. 4 green crew members." End quote. Mission Control erupted. The astronauts' families erupted. And honestly, anyone watching, everywhere in the world, erupted too. Let me show you this clip of re-entry and splashdown footage.
And we have confirmation of crew module, service module separation. And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere. We're at 400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second. And there go the first series of parachutes, and we're on drogues.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
2 good drogue chutes. Next up,
We copy, we see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
Good rates on 2 drogues.
We see the same on board.
Passing through 10,000 feet. Still on drogues. Main chute deploy. We're at 5,000 feet. Search and recovery beacon has been activated on integrity. And we have 3 good main chutes. Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Good rates, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
And as there are mission audio loops in mission control in Houston, there is a mission audio loop here on the ship. And it was just reported out that the side hatch is open. Side hatch of Integrity is open. You're getting these beautiful shots from our aerial assets. The ship itself, where I'm on, just 3,000 yards away. And the recovery team here on the ship just got a report from the undersea medical officer who is inside the capsule with the crew. He is reporting all 4 members are green. All of our 4 astronauts, Reid, Victor, Christina, Jeremy, green, meaning they are feeling great, not the complexion of their skin. They are feeling great, happy to be home, and ready to be extracted as soon as possible.
The numbers tell the story better than anything. 700,237 total miles traveled. They hit their flight path angle within 0.4% accuracy after a 250,000-mile journey to the moon. They splashed down less than a mile from the target. They were exactly 20 seconds late. NASA's Associate Administrator Amit Kshatriya said it perfectly. Quote, "Yesterday, the flight director said we had less than a degree of an angle to hit after a 250,000 miles to the moon. And their team hit it. That's not luck. That is 1,000 people doing their job." End quote. Navy divers pulled up to the floating capsule. They opened the hatch.
Yes! Do it. Say it. Yes! Let's go!
One by one, Reid Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen emerged, smiling, waving, alive, onto an inflatable raft that they called the porch, before being hoisted into helicopters and flown to the USS John P. Murtha, where they actually spend just about as much time as they did in space. They'll spend with the engineers and going over what they saw and things that could be different, etc. All 4 astronauts healthy and well. The mission successful in every category. So what's next? Because this was just the beginning. Artemis II was the crew test, the dress rehearsal. and it passed with flying colors. Artemis III, currently targeted for 2027, will have astronauts practice docking their capsule with lunar lander in orbit around the Earth. And Artemis IV, projected for 2028, a crew of 2 actually lands near the moon's south pole. Scientists believe there could be water, ice, trapped in permanently shadowed craters down there. Water ice that could be converted to oxygen, to rocket fuel, to building blocks of permanent human presence on another world. NASA's associate administrator said it clearly after today's splashdown. Quote, "I think the path to the surface is open now. This was an incredible test of an incredible machine," end quote. And just in case you were wondering, yes, Christina Koch already said she wasn't ready to come home. She wanted to stay up longer. These 4 are already raising their hands to go back. Look, I know we talk about hard things on this channel. Corruption, accountability, stories they don't want you to see, and we're going to keep doing that. But sometimes the most important story we can tell is the one that reminds us what we're capable of when we do this together. When 1,000 engineers and scientists put their heads down and refuse to accept failure. When 4 people strap into a capsule and fly 700,000 miles for all of us. Humanity went to the moon, and humanity came home. And as we continue to be bombarded with chaos, I want you to hold on to this story, because this is what we are when we're at our best. This has been your girl bringing you the news they try to sweep under the rug, and the stories why it all matters, that remind you only on Exposed News Outlet. If this story moved you, if it inspired you, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about the moon flights, and please share this on your social media platforms. Share it with somebody who needs to see something good today. The links and sources are all below, as well as my social media links. Follow me on social media, on Discord, Patreon, Twitch. I'm going to be doing live streams coming soon as well. More live streams and new podcasts coming, so stay tuned for that. And as always, be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. I'll see you in the next one. Be safe.